Back again with the paint job on the Graf Spee. To start with, I'll just show you the range of colors I'll be using, which are a little bit more light, will do nicely here. Mostly Vallejo colors, Madeira wood, sandy brown, mahogany. Of course I need some black, buff, pale sand and dark sand. At the end of the process I'll be using MIG Productions wood aging solution, which is a very nice product to blend over all these different colors. The basic shade I'll be using to create the wood color will be the buff. This is the one, actually this is for brush painting, but I'll thin it down to work it with my airbrush, and then all the other colors are used to tint it. I am not convinced of the most recent, oops, can you see me? No, you're blinded by the light. By the most recent development in modeling to use original wood sheeting decks. I think if you want to build a piece of furniture, oops, airbrush. If you want to build a piece of furniture, these are great, but we're building a ship model here, and for me that just doesn't cut it. I don't think it's looking good other than making the model look like a piece of furniture. Alright, so I'll apply some wood color and get back to you later. See ya. Alright, so I'm in the process of applying the wood deck color. I started by applying an uneven light coat of Vallejo buff to all the decks that should be covered in wood. And I don't really care if this is, cloudy in areas like these, because this will lend to a very nice effect in the end. Once this is superficially dried, I use a highly thinned coat of sandy brown from Vallejo, and I hope this shows on the back of the deck. Give it a different tint now. You see, I hope this shows in this portion. It shows the aft deck is tinted already, and I will proceed with the rest of the deck. See you in a bit. Here we go. I have finished the application of the sandy brown to the deck. As you can see, it's still quite cloudy, but I don't really mind. Now the thing is that the kit itself has a very nice deck planking structure, which is unfortunately just a tad bit out of scale, but to correct this would take a major amount of scribing, and I'm not up to doing something like that. So I'll just go with the flow and allow this to be out of scale and just use what I have at hand. Kemet Limited 0.75 millimeter masking tape, which is very fine, has good adhesion, and as you can see, it is very, very thin, and it does exactly fit the width of the individual plank here shown in the kit. What I'll do now is I'll measure some 50 to 100 lengths fitting the individual planks, and we'll mask them off in the random pattern. Back again. So I've been for the past hour masking off the deck, and this is what it looks like before I apply the next layer of paint. Here's a closer look. There are individual planks masked off in a random but even pattern across the deck. One could, in a ship which has been long on duty, mark certain areas of extreme use with this technique, but since my ship will be roughly 2 years old by the time I'm depicting her, she should be quite in a good shape. Okay, and here's another shot before I proceed with the next layer of wood color. By now the tint is pretty dark and red, probably about the maximum of darkness I should have in the color shades used. And yeah, well, from here on I should go lighter and probably a bit more gray to it. However, I will figure this out as I go along. I'll see you in a bit. And back again, to give you a bit of an idea how tedious this work is. Here's a bit of planking work. Here you see a piece of glass. I put the tape on, then cut the length of exactly 19.5 millimeter, and then I pick up the individual plank, and then I am looking for a nice spot to put it, and then I place it here. There you go. Yeah, and I'll be repeating this about 100 times for each layer of color, and we should have say 3 to 4 layers of color. This is definitely not something you want to do for the rest of your life, but in the end it looks really, really convincing. At least I do think so, and this is why I'm going through all these lengths. And I think it beats the heck out of a real wood deck any day of the week. And it's about craftsmanship a lot more to do this, instead of just shake and bake modeling with glue on wood decks. Anyway, of course, wood decks do have a certain appeal, and if you like them, please go for them. Just don't ask me to use them. It's certainly not my cup of tea. If you do it like I do, then you'll have to find a way to put on a randomly but evenly spread pattern of planks in an individual color, so it may look natural in the end, and you can see, for example, in spaces it can make sense to have 2 or 3 planks in the same color right next to each other, but that is really something, you know, you have to develop a certain feel for it, but this is a matter of practice. By the way, I'm using this technique to do wood decks in 700 scale as well. Of course, the planks are a lot smaller then, but actually the amount of planks you apply to your ship model are roughly about the same as in the 350 scale model. So this is something that can really test your patience, but I think it's really nice. You get into a workflow and enjoy the things you're doing, even if they're not super spectacular like this one. Alright, I'll proceed with this. See you in a bit. Bye bye.